SOH Radio presents AsiaCast, keeping you across the top headlines from Asia and the world.
I'm Dennis Wu with AsiaCast. In this bulletin, Professor ridicules claims by China that prominent lawyer not being mistreated. Vietnam jails more democracy activists, and 160 die as flooding hits Philippines. But first, here is SOH focus on China. An accident at a coal mine in central China killed 26 miners on Thursday. 2 mineshaft elevators plunged 200 feet after the brakes failed. 19 miners died immediately, while 7 others died whilst undergoing medical treatment. 5 other miners survived but are injured. The incident occurred at a mine at Hunan Province. Coal mining is one of the most dangerous occupations in China, and China's mines are the deadliest in the world due to the lax safety standards, poor regulation, and a rush to feed the demands of the economy. A Chinese pensioner was recently beaten to death at a labour camp in Hebei province less than 6 weeks into a 1-year sentence. Despite Chinese law prohibiting anyone over 60 from being sent to a labour camp, 20 police took Liu from her home and sent her to the Hebei First Labour Camp. But Liu Fengqing's supposed crime was simply to have gone to Beijing 35 times this year to appeal against her illegal logging by local officials. Beijing lawyer Xie Yanyi told NTD TV that China's labour camp system has no legislative oversight and often results in human rights atrocities. Liu Fengqing's daughter, Liu Yuhong, said labour camps in China were even more cold-hearted, severe and cruel than the prisons. And now for the rest of today's AsiaCast. An American law professor had said claims that Chinese human rights lawyer Gao Zhisheng is not being mistreated are beyond laughable. Professor Donald Clark of George Washington University was responding to information the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. provided to a Congressional Executive Commission on China hearing this week. Gao, a stalwart for representing repressed groups in China such as Falun Gong practitioners and Christians, has been harassed, tortured and detained by Chinese authorities since 2005. Gao was taken from his family's home by authorities in February this year and has not been seen since. Read the Epoch Times article for more on this. 6 democracy activists in Vietnam have been sentenced up to 6 years in prison for allegedly spreading propaganda against the government. The 6 men are the latest to be tried in a clampdown that has seen dozens investigated or arrested for alleged anti-government activities. Earlier this week, 3 people were sentenced to 3 or 4 years in jail for propaganda against the state. Observers say Vietnam is tightening up security ahead of the next Communist Party Congress to be held in early 2011.
You are listening to AsiaCast on the SOH Radio Network.
Burma's pro-democracy leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, was allowed by the military junta to meet with foreign diplomats Friday. Nguyen Nguyen, Suu Kyi's lawyer and her political party spokesperson, said the meeting resulted from a letter she submitted to Senior General Than Shui on September 25th. A government official who spoke on condition of anonymity confirmed the meeting. She requested the meeting with the diplomats to hear their opinions about economic sanctions against the South Asian nation. Suu Kyi's detention has been a key component in the United States' political tangle with Myanmar. Critics of the country's ruling junta have accused the regime of convicting Suu Kyi, 64, to keep her from participating in 2010 elections. Officials in the Philippines have said that flooding and landslides triggered by heavy rain in the north of the country has killed at least 160 people. Most of the deaths were in Benguet province, where landslides were reported to have hit several towns. The country is dealing with the aftermath of 2 major storms, Typhoon Ketsana and Palma. Ketsana left at least 300 people dead and hundreds of thousands stranded, while Palma caused further damage just over a week later. Rain from Typhoon Palma caused the latest floodings and continued to hamper efforts to reach and rescue people in flooded areas. This has been Dennis Wu for the SOH Radio Network.
AsiaCast, keeping you across the top headlines from Asia and the world.